Transvaginal ultrasound.
Today's show is all vaginal.
That sounds like a really weird voyage. You have tickets for the transvaginal voyage.
Let's party. And you're wearing pants, so that's nice.
Not for long. No.
Not once he gets on the transvaginal boat.
All right. We are, I feel like I'm on The View or something,
Oh, we could.
This is the women's show
Our
today.
next guest.
I have all my women's on the show today. Yes. Oh, this is official now. It's official.
Yes.
Don't show our address.
Oh, they're not going to see it. Everyone knows where we live. What are they going to do? Welcome into the Front Room. Yes, the online edition right here from the TFR set at Brandwood Studios.
Woo-hoo.
In downtown Highland, Indiana, the entertainment capital of the world, where all the great stars still spit on the sidewalk. They do.
Of course.
They do. My lovely wife, Marlo. My own personal Yoko. And we have a special guest today. We have
been waiting for her.
We have been waiting. It took a long time to get her booked because Morty Schmutzpa, that's her agent as well. He's a tough guy to work with.
He is.
Trish Kwasny, Mrs. Kwasny.
Mrs. Kwasny in the
Front room. Hello, front room.
Otherwise known as our nosy neighbor.
I think she was outside of that window with an earlier episode, but she's actually in the front room now.
Yes, they decided to invite me in.
Well, I have to tell you, I was in the TFR shower.
Yes.
And I came out, and she was trying to look through the block windows. I saw her out,
I
like
hate
doing
that block window.
I know,
really,
block window's horrible.
Neighbors like
It blocks the view.
It's horrible. Now, okay, I'll just talk a little bit about my voyeurism, because it seems I'm having a resurgence for some reason. In the Red Dot Nation, we gotta let the Red Dot Nation.
Oh yes.
The Red Dot. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but
You'll figure it out.
I'm telling you, it's going to be big.
Or a nightmare.
And they're looking for more exposure. So.
Who's they?
Red Dot Nation.
She always says they. Everybody loves the
sorry.
Red Dot. Don't tell me. I remember the bathrooms before the glass blocks, because a lot of the older homes where I grew up in Hegwish, they had just regular windows, and then they put like grandma curtains up, and sometimes none of the houses were air conditioned, so they'd leave the window opened. And if there was a girl across the street, all the guys were like, hey, let me get on your back and Now everybody did that, right?
I think we had boys look in our window. We were 3 girls at our house.
Oh man!
And there were a lot of boys in the neighborhood, and we had the shades that pull down. Well, sometimes you just forget or just let the curtain go. And my dad, I think, caught 2 guys because there were some bushes up outside of our. And we were 11 or 12. There's nothing to see.
Well, that's a little different. 11 or 12.
Well, they were also 11 or 12. But
well.
They're like, wow, she looks just like me.
Yeah.
So father had the shotgun. My peeping Tom thing came a little later. The girls were 16 or sometimes older, or we were 16, 15, trying to peek in at the 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
At them or their moms?
No.
Just checking.
Today it's the mom.
I know.
It's that whole MILF syndrome.
Oh.
So here in the Front Room, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Mrs. Kwasny in the house. You've been on the regular radio show a couple times.
I have.
Way back at WJOB.
I think her first time was with the New Year's Day parade.
It was. I came directly from the Chateau Boucher.
I
had waken up in the cloakroom, surrounded by coats. I pulled myself together and said, I've got to get there for the
She
parade.
grabbed a coat. You were wearing a tiara, I believe.
I was.
Yes.
I still had, that was mine. I went to sleep with that.
And I think you were working the Boulevard for a while before you came into the studio.
I don't
saw
like
you
to talk
walking.
about that time in my life.
All right. What was your weirdest job ever? Weirdest job? Because in my lifetime, I've had a hell of a lot of jobs. I've done a lot of things. Weirdest job?
I think I've got this. It was a summer between, I don't know what year in college, and I got a job at a professional laundry service. And the company had the contract for a military school, an all-boys military school. So we did all the laundry for teenage boys. And thankfully, they pressed the uniforms. They
get all the stains out of the undies.
Yes,
a lot of stain stick.
Yeah.
Yes, they had. That was not my department. Thankfully, they took pity on me since I was new
and young,
and they put me on folding duty. So I was folding and shrink wrapping underwear and t-shirts and things like that. And also we had to use the big rollers to dry the sheets so you could fold them perfectly. But you had these big dryers where you had to wear your hair back because you didn't want your hair caught in those things. So that was the summer where I learned I really have to go back to college because I don't want to do this forever.
What about you, Con?
My weirdest, well, this isn't a weird one, but it's weird for me.
Okay.
One summer, I was working 3 jobs when I was in high school. I worked at the Highland Library. I worked for my mom and her boss for the railroad organizations. They were secretaries doing mailings and things of that sort. But every Sunday, there's a church across from my Catholic church, and I went in there and babysat. Or sort of, there was...
Babysat for...
The kids, when they came out of the congregation, I had infants to 3-year-olds that I had to watch while the parents were in
Infants? You
church.
with infants? Come on.
Dude, this was when I learned that I can't change a diaper, and I don't ever want to. This was one summer, and I never went back. I'm not good with children, and I don't really care.
It was infants to 3-year-olds?
Yes.
Okay, so you weren't you never babysat like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid on the block or anything like that? Oh.
But I never watched a baby. I had never changed a diaper until that moment. How I got this position, I don't know.
Did you have to change diapers?
Yes.
And you'd never done it before?
I had never done it before.
How did it go?
Not well.
Did you get it on? I put a diaper on backward once when I was baby.
I got it on, but at one point, I take the diaper off, and immediately this little boy just peed on me.
Cool.
It was my first golden shower.
Early golden shower. Now, were these the diapers with the pins, the old-fashioned?
No. It was stickies.
Because, see, I changed diapers when I was an uncle at 11 years old. So when you're 11 and you become an uncle,
it's a big responsibility.
That's huge.
You to work.
And it was my niece Denise, who's now that's
now my niece.
Not her niece.
That I went to college with.
Yes, and it's funny. And so, but I could do it. I could do it. I didn't know what I was doing, but they had, my sister had the diapers you had to send out to get cleaned or she washed.
They were not disposable.
And they had the pins, so you had to be very careful not to pin the baby.
How did babies not have those come out and poke us?
I don't know.
They had the big plastic heads, they had the safety.
He said head.
Big filth. But then you had to put the plastic pants to catch any residual,
There were plastic pants that went over the cloth diaper?
Yeah, the cloth diaper, and then you had the plastic pants so it didn't seep out.
I don't know.
This is before they had the box diapers in this late 60s. I guess they had box diapers back then.
We're around the same age, so I'm thinking we're both confused.
Well, they had the plastic pants because the diaper would get damp, and then if you had, if they were wearing some clothing and at a function or something, you
But I
didn't want
remember
it
them
seeping.
rinsing them out. They had to rinse out the dirty diapers.
There's a load. What do you do? I would go to the toilet, drop it in the toilet, and then my sister had a stink bucket there, where you just and that was just horrible. I would be I'd be doing wash every like 15 seconds. I guess they had the diaper service.
Now I know what to get him for his birthday.
They had diaper service back then too. They would come pick up the diapers and bring
that. Honestly, I know it's environmentally sound. It's just the weirdest thing to me. Hi, you're gonna defecate in this, and we're gonna wash it and give it back to you. No, if I do that, I don't want it back.
Well, it's old school. They didn't have the money. You buy the diapers and you keep them.
This kind of circles back to my job in laundry with
and then you hand them down.
Yeah, then you send them back.
Oh, shit. Well.
Literally.
Stink bucket. That's what I got out of that whole thing was stink bucket.
Jobs. I've had plenty of jobs. And the worst probably was male crack whore. No, actually, that wasn't too bad.
No, you enjoyed that.
West 14th Street, New York City.
You enjoyed that.
Well, see, I lived in New York City for 15 years. So I've had jobs here. When I started working when I was young, I worked for Dorchester Inn in South Holland, washing pots and pans. I was only 14, making $1 an hour or something for a big fancy restaurant, the South Side Swedish Club. And I think it's still around. So someone's mom knew the lady there, and we were just kids, 13, 14 years old. They were just slipping us a couple bucks. I hated that. I think the worst job I had was bike messenger in New York City.
First off, can I just point out, Rick on a bike sounds like a dangerous thing.
Well, I was I was pretty agile on it. You wouldn't believe.
Did you have helmets back then?
No helmets. No, we didn't.
He doesn't have a helmet now.
I saw a kid in a stroller the other day, and the father had a helmet on. I go, "Come, man, this kid's not going to make it to first grade."
Nuh-uh.
No, but it was a bike messenger, and it was in the West 50s in Manhattan. I had just moved there. I had been there for a while. I worked for Zabar's, which was great. That was the best job because first job in New York City, I lived about 3 blocks from Zabar's. And
what is Zabar's? I don't know.
It's a big deli. It's a huge deli. It has everything.
It has Kesha. It has robots on wheels.
They had olives the size of tennis balls. I was like, oh my God. And the best part about it was
macrame.
They put me behind the deli counter.
The salami kid behind the deli counter.
Salami kid, thank you.
Of this.
Salami. And the best part was you could eat anything you want while you're there. So you said when lunchtime, just pick anything you want, except for the super expensive, like the pates. They had some pates that were worth $75, a quarter pound or something. You couldn't touch that. But pot pies, and they had these just wonderful stuff. So that job wasn't bad, but bike messenger. So I had a friend who, you do it and make good money. I go, okay, well, I have a bike.
You knew Maniscalco back then?
I had a bike, and I got to tell you, in New York at that time in 1980, if you had to bolt everything down on I put the bike on a pole, and I had a lock for the front wheel, or the back wheel. I came back, the front wheel was gone. So I bought another wheel, bought 2 locks, put it to a parking lot pole, came back, the seat was gone. Now, who would take just a seat? I had to ride home standing, and every time I got tired, I was going to sit, and I said, whoa.
Quickly reminded that was not a good idea.
Ow.
Then I went and got some sort of lock device for the seat, and I had both tires wrapped through the chain, wrapped through the frame, tied to this parking lot, no parking sign, and I came back and the whole bike was gone. So then this guy standing there, some bum that was on the corner, he says, you know what they did? You just lift the pole up
and take everything out.
They unbolted the sign at the base, so anyone who would tie their bike, they would just lift the pole. The other guy would slide the bike out with all the locks, and then they'd take it to the garage somewhere and cut off
the locks off.
It sounds like post-apocalyptic hurting.
It was such an experience in New York. But anyway, so I go to the messenger guy, and the messenger guy has like a slip disc. He's always like walking around like this. I don't know if he messengered for a long time, but a West 50s chain smoker, real nice guy. He says, yeah, you do the bike thing, you got to do this, and you can make this, but you got to really hustle. And back then they didn't have emails. I think they may have had fax machines in 1980, I imagine. I can't remember. So everything was done. You had, you need artwork delivered, you need this, you need checks delivered. It was all done by messenger. You got this little thing on the back, ride the bikes, you're driving through Times Square, cars, you're not paying, you don't stop for anything. You just go through. So it was bad. I didn't fall or anything, but I told him, I said, dude, I know the city really well, but I can't handle the bike thing. I go, it's just too nerve-wracking. And he says, well, I have a car, and I need someone to drive the car. You got a good license? I say, my license is good. Only had 1 DUI, and that was in 79, just last year. I'm good. Kosher.
That was in the day where it took a lot for them to pick you up for DUI.
Oh, man. It was out like in Matson. It was out in Matson. I fell asleep behind the wheel, and it was an ice storm going. It was that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got the thing driving the car, but it was such agita to do this because traffic is intense in Manhattan, and then parking is non-existent in Manhattan, especially at noon or during the day. Trucks everywhere. Every little store you see has to have deliveries. There are trucks I'd have to double park, ticket.
Because they don't have alleys, right?
No alleys. So then they have delivery on 42nd Street. Where the hell am I going to park? So I just like, well, it's only on the 42nd floor.
Oh, that'll be quick.
I'll double park. And then you go in the elevator. You got to go up, and then you got to get it signed. And then they want something taken back. I come back, ticket on the car. I go, how do I stop with the tickets? I mean, the guy was nice enough. He was picking it up. He goes, well, generally in New York, how they do it, even UPS drivers, FedEx trucks, because when I lived on 29th Street, it was a very commercial street back then. This is a little later in my career in New York. I would ask the UPS guy, because I saw him every day. I'm walking my dogs. I go, do you get a ticket every day? He goes, no, they alternate. So I get a ticket a week. The FedEx guy gets a ticket a week. The other bimbo coming down the street, the schmuck from New Jersey, gets a ticket a week. So they just did it like that. But that was one of my worst jobs.
I don't understand it. They know that that's a business. You have to, especially when it's like UPS and FedEx, that they would even give them tickets because they have no other option.
Generating revenue, especially back then in New York.
Yeah, here's what they here's what they'll tell you. They don't care. That's your problem. Yeah, that's the New York way. The only other job I had that was worse was I did a roofing gig. Ooh. I was really desperate. And this was in New York City. And I know nothing about roofing. I'm a fairly handy dude.
Well, didn't I just see pictures of him on the roof? Didn't you just post pictures?
Well,
he was cleaning out gutters. Oh, he wasn't putting in a roof.
Okay.
No, I wasn't putting in a roof.
Although I really thought he was just trying to impersonate Sasquatch.
I was doing some mortar work is what I was doing.
It was a sunny day and you're wearing all black. And I
don't want to get sun.
Have you ever seen him in anything but all black?
I've had the melanoma. I've had the melanoma.
Salmon to show up.
It did. We ate it. It was excellent.
I've had the melanoma. Doesn't this look professional?
I love it.
It
does. I only have one of these because that's all we could afford on the budget.
Nothing's written on it, is it?
So this just has my stamp.
Wait, is anything written on that card?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the grocery list?
See, but this one, maybe if we get a budget, I could get 2 cards.
Oh, there we go.
Then just reuse the cards.
We need a bougie.
No, but I had this roofing gig. One day. This is what happened. I'm desperate. I need to pay rent. I'm living transient style. I was at the
Rutledge.
At the Rutledge, and then before that, I was at
the Y or at Chelsea.
At the Y and the Chelsea. I can't even remember my own stories.
I can.
So I'm looking for a job, and I'm looking. You got to look through the paper, and I'm looking, and it says need a guy for roofing stuff. So I said,
literally, that was the ad. Need guy for roofing stuff. I'm in.
So I call him, and he's the gig's out in Brooklyn. It's about a half-hour subway ride. He says, just wear some decent shoes because it's going to be hot as stink tomorrow. He goes, it's a flat roof, 6-story building. So I need the gig. I forget what it pays, $10 an hour, $9 an hour. I said, okay, I'll be there. So I go there. All I had were these white tennis shoes, which were horrible.
First of all, can I just point out Rick wearing white tennis shoes. Now, there is a picture of you on Facebook on a motorcycle with your father in LA, and you're wearing white tennis shoes. I don't know where that ever came from.
I blame the ex. She probably picked them up at Target because I never heard of Target.
There wasn't a Target back then.
There was.
In the 80s?
In 80, I moved to Los Angeles in 84, and I'm riding a sickle down the street, and I see.
Were you on the 401?
It was probably I wasn't on a 405. I probably took an alternate.
Okay, you took the side street.
Took Alameda up.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I took the 101 up. It was crap. So I'm right down the street.
That is his favorite.
I love the Californians.
Oh, we need it. He loves them.
Anyway, I'm driving down the street and I see this sign, and it's just a Target. Just
the red circles.
The circles.
The actual Target.
And I saw it, and I'm just driving by. I go, I don't know what the hell that is. And it didn't say Target. It just had the circles. So I drove by, and then a couple days later, I was driving by somewhere. I saw another one, and then my friend Greg, Dr. Watson, I finally asked. I go, what is that? And he goes, that's Target. I go, I never heard of it. What is it? He goes, it's like a fancier Kmart. So that's the first time I ever heard Target.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay, so the roofing job. You're in your white tennis shoes.
I'm in my white tennis shoes.
I'm here to bring him back. I'm here to bring him back around.
I wore a nice pair of slacks. No, I had jeans on. And
wasn't it like 95 degrees out?
But you can't wear shorts. You can't go up there in your hot pants. So
thank God.
I get there. This is worse than the messenger job.
Yeah.
I get there, and the guy goes, hey, good, nice to meet you. He goes, there's the roof. It's flat. We got to roll this stuff out, this gooey stuff, stinky tar. And then we got like a thing. What is that, a wench?
Oh, yeah.
Where you pull something up, So he goes, you probably go up there, you help the guy with the wench and pull all the junk, these 5-gallon tubs, heavy crap.
Of
tar and other kind of rolls of some sort of paper you got to lay down and then put this goo. Oh, it was probably about 102, and the humidity was probably 150% humidity. And I could see Manhattan and Bronx. It's a nice view, but I just sweat. And this black stuff, it was everywhere but on the roof, I think. I know it was all over me, and my white tennis shoes were ruined. Ruined, totally ruined.
He had ruined rage.
I did the 8 hours, and climbing up the ladders, I was not that agile. I was a little more agile back then, but these ladders were tall, 6 stories.
6-story ladder?
They had some way again. They didn't have an elevator. It's a walk.
But there weren't stairs inside that you could go up? You had to go up a ladder on the outside?
They had ladders going up.
Oh my God!
Oh no! See, that changes the story dramatically. I think.
Maybe
they
did
the lead on this.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff had to come up outside.
Wow, you win.
No, maybe they don't have. Maybe it wasn't a 6-story ladder.
We have a winner.
Maybe
yeah.
I screwed that up. Maybe there was some way to walk up there.
Maybe.
Trying to enhance it for showbiz reasons.
It was
miserable, and then I had to go home. Then it's kind of like this. You're like taking stuff off. I'm going to get the train. I'm setting it down.
Everything stuck to you.
Yo, I had to throw everything I had out because you can't wash.
Oh no,
you can't throw that in the
How'd
washer.
you get that off your skin?
Oh, it was just black. You had to sit there with kitchen cleanser and a scouring pad.
Was the ex happy when you came in, or were you not together?
This
then?
is pre-ex.
Pre-ex. It was
pre-ex.
It's a pre-ex.
This is when I was flying
So she was
solo.
not responsible for those white tennis.
This is when I was just a gigolo.
So you were responsible for those white tennis shoes in that respect.
Then I was.
Okay.
Yeah, this is New York, early
Really,
90s.
let's get to the bottom of this.
You know what a great job was? A great job, and this is with the ex. We had a dog walking service, which is really needed. It's a service needed in New York City. There are just tons and tons of dogs.
It's becoming needed in Chicago as well.
Yes.
I mean, I knew people there. When you see those people walking all those dogs, they were making 6 figures walking dogs. Because at that time, and this is in late 80s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, you'd charge $15 to walk a dog for a half hour.
Oh my God.
Now, we specialized in with mental dogs that didn't like other dogs, dogs that wouldn't get along. Maybe we had an area, we had the Upper East Side from 96th down to 72nd, the river to the park. Some of these buildings are 40 stories tall.
And they had elevators.
They had elevators.
They didn't have stairs on the outside.
17,000 ladders. Seriously. No, but that was a great gig. That was I had a couple weird experiences with dog walking people.
The owners.
With the owners.
Okay.
Now, you were letting yourself into their homes when they were.
But some of them were doorman buildings, so the doorman, some of them were highfalutin joints. I'm telling you, they'd have like 3 floors of a whole building for their apartment, and I would go in there, and it was so quiet. I go, this can't be New York. How is it so quiet in here? They must have thick windows, because you'd go in and you wouldn't hear
anything.
You wouldn't hear like
normal hotel sounds when you stay in New York.
It was a wonderful gig because you made good money and the people were nice and they tipped you out.
And you're hanging with dogs.
Yeah, you're playing with dogs and all the dogs I'm really good with dogs. But then I had these experiences just with a couple of the women's kind of good weird experience. Good weird experience.
We'll be the judges of that.
Yeah, well,
good weird.
Let's see.
Well, there's this one lady. She was probably 78th between the park.
I thought he was going to say she was 78.
No. 78.
We don't care where she's located.
I was at the edge of my seat.
Well, I got to give.
What? She was 78 years old. I'm like.
Well, I do have a few from
okay.
I have a couple older women from LA those are different. Those are touring stories. Sorry.
Oh yeah. That's another show.
Well, I got to give coordinates. 78th Street between Madison and the park. That's highfalutin.
That means nothing to me.
That's highfalutin. Near the Guggenheim and all that.
Okay.
So this woman was probably 45-ish. I was 35-ish, somewhere around there.
So she was around my age.
31-ish. And, she was an attractive woman. To me, I read her as a bit of a gold digger. She had this really nice pad, and I just, you come in and you go, man, how do you do? What do you do? I'm an advisor. I'm an advisor.
Rick always wanted to be an advisor.
That's my favorite job. I want to be an advisor to anything.
And yes. You make 6 figures doing it.
Yes.
I advise you to pay me to tell you shit.
I advise you to do better at work. Damn you. So this woman, attractive and all that, so she had a little dog, and she wanted specific. You take them to the park. I want them out there 45 minutes. She gave me more money. Wants the dog only alone, so I said it's going to be a little more alone because usually you do 3. You make $45 in a half hour. Up the charge, but she always wanted to go to park, even if it's raining, snowing. Got to go to park, which I didn't mind. Little dog, you could pick it up, hold it, cuddle it, twist it around,
Hang it.
Balloon animal.
So a couple of times I came up and hello, something you got to check if she's home or something. This was a doorman building, but you didn't have to go. He didn't go up with you. Some doorman would let you into the place, but most places we had a key, or the doorman would give us the key. So I go in and I open the door. I go, oh, there's Fruity Tooty, the dog or whatever. I don't remember the name. So I'm playing with the dog, and all of a sudden I heard like a little rustling or something.
Oh God, she came out naked, didn't she?
No, and I'm walking. I go, oh, and I'm looking around. All of a sudden she's wandering around in her panties. And top, just a little brassiere, and bing, I'm just wow. I go, sorry, and then it happened again. This time she's
doing it on purpose.
Yeah, but see, I was trying to be nice, and I was thinking, but this my wife's involved, and my ex-wife's involved in this, and it's gonna become all sticky. So I left it alone. But that happened. Another girl too, way on the east side, on East End Avenue, nice layout, overlooking the river, and we were doing her parents too. I didn't mean it that way.
I always want more. The way these
I didn't mean.
Oh my God!
The
mind gutter.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant her parents had a place on 72nd and Park.
And you were walking their dog as well.
Great Dane, wonderful dog. This woman had such a cool house. She had like a really cool old jukebox that worked, and you could just play any song when you're in there. And she had a Great Dane as well. So anyway, that girl too. I'd come in and it'd be like, oh hi, and hello, nipples. How's the dog? Not nipples. I know. What's the dog's name again? So it'd be something.
The dog's
like
name
that.
Nipples, right?
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
How about your favorite job?
My favorite job, I did a lot of cocktail waitressing and bartending, which I enjoyed. But my actual favorite job was day camp counselor.
Ooh.
Yes, they trusted me with children. People trusted me with their offspring, and I did that for 3 summers. And it was fabulous because there were no rules back then. There were no rules.
As far as what you mean?
Yeah, because again, mind gutter. Well,
children.
We're in the front room. Come on, we gotta get the dirt out here.
So were there laws?
We don't want nicey stories.
It was kind of a lawless rural area. So
See,
we don't want nicey stories here. We want filth.
I don't have any filthy stories about the children. No,
what was the day camp? Where was this?
It was in Kendallville, Indiana.
Okay.
And sometimes we would be sent off to different off-site areas, like a couple days a week. The last couple years, we were at this main park and it had a lake. So twice a week, we could take the kids swimming. And this was back in the day where the kids would climb on you and give turtle rides, and nobody was all freaky about
touching and all that. You got to be careful now.
Going on.
Right.
Obviously, we were just, trying to drown the camp counselors most of the time. The delinquents always ended up in my group. We divided them.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. That's why you're here with us.
Through the energy, I'm always hanging with the delinquents. They ended up getting in line with me because there were no rules. And I'm going to out myself on how I punish children.
Oh, go ahead.
Just elbow them in the head or something?
No, I would never physically harm any child.
So you did it mentally.
Crazy talk.
Yes.
It's a mental abuse.
Yeah. You just play with their heads and then they just follow you anywhere.
Nice.
And that's the story of how you contain delinquents.
Nice.
Although we had one family and they were hillbillies. Oh my God. We had a brother, sister, cousin. One of them set the other one on fire.
And all their kids?
Yes, and all their children. Yeah. So one day I said, where's Shane today? Oh, he couldn't come. Why? I was like, well, we're sitting, and they had these really thick accents. It's northern Indiana, and they had these really thick southern accents. And they'd look at you, and they'd squint, and they'd say, well, he was sitting in the backyard playing with a tar, and he was hitting it with a hammer.
A tar?
Like, what's a tar? A tire.
Oh, a tar. Yeah, a tar. Okay, a tar. Get it now.
A tar.
I was thinking roofing, tar. Oh, God.
He's still on that. He's still trying to get it off his hands.
And they should have tar down. So he's sitting there with a hammer on a tire, and what do you think is going to happen when
He's going to hit
gonna
himself.
bounce
He's
back.
going to bounce
in the
back.
head.
With the claw end of the hammer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And then the other cousin always had his hand in his pants. And we always had, he was 6 or 7, and we're like, get your hand out of your pants.
He's camping, pinching a tent.
He was.
Yeah.
And so his girl cousin came over, and she looked at me and she goes, his ma said if he don't stop that, she gonna cut it off.
You know, my favorite job, my favorite job, and everyone thinks it's the music thing because I was in the band and did the touring and all that, which was great. You know, I did like it. But my favorite job of all
Calumet
time,
coach.
No, it was cab driving.
Oh, of course.
Taxi driver in New York City.
sense.
It was unbelievable.
Now here's another book we've got to write.
This is a whole nother show because I'm not going to go.
It's more than a show.
I'm not going to go too deep into
It's
it.
a film.
Cab driving, because if you wanted, because I used to bartend and I loved bartending, I really did. But to go into the music field of bartending wasn't good because Fridays and Saturdays were scrapped because you had to be there to bartend. That was the heavy nights, you know. My friend was a limo driver. He says, "Dude, just get yourself a hack license, and when you want to work, you call them. When you don't want to work, you just don't call." So if you got another gig or something, you're free for 2 weeks, 6 months, and as long as you have your hack license to keep it up to date every year, I think it was $60 to renew it. And man, the weirdos, freaks come out, right? You hear that song? Freaks come out. It was brilliant. It was my favorite job. I never had an issue either because I spoke English, and a lot of people would try and hassle me. You get the homie boys, you know, the house boys would come in.
The house boys.
They'd go, yo, 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 116 Atlantic Avenue. Nope, not tonight. And they'd be gone. Just
Have you
because
considered Ubering here?
not really, no. You know, we're running out of time here. Trish, thanks so much for coming in. My lovely wife, Kamala, my own person, Yoko. We have to thank our sponsor, Schmoyles.
Oh.
Schmoyles for anything. You think Amazon's good? Go to Schmoyles. Schmoyles for everything, all your
That's
needs.
like a down payment on a car.
Right here in the front room. Thanks so much. Thank you, ladies, my women's.
Bye.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.